Hello everyone and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial where we're in that Honda S2000 at Grand Valley Highway. Now this one is a really fun time trial. Highly recommend you try this. Now we're on comfort soft tyres, which just make it a little bit squirrely coming out of corners, especially when you hit that VTEC, yo. I do think the goal estimate is going to be quite easy to get, and I've put that around a 2:16. I say easy, obviously in quotes. Some people will struggle with the rear of the car, but I have to give my own opinion on this, and sometimes it's wrong. If you enjoyed this video, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content. But what we're going to do is jump into this one. I'm going to tell you how to get those 2 million credits, or quick credits, just for you on this combo. So as we head towards turn number 1, we're looking for the 300 board. That's my main focus. Now, I've put a second square there where the line goes straight, but you want to brake before the 300 and sort of aim in a straight line towards the inside of the corner. That's the best way to do this. You don't want to turn and brake at the same time. So aim for the inside of the corner. Look at that. We're going across the circuit and we start to release the brake when we want to go around. I get a bit of oversteer on this one, so it actually allows me to accelerate a bit earlier. If you don't get the oversteer, don't worry. What you're looking for is on the inside, the sand going to concrete. That is your accelerating marker right there. You can see it more clearly here on chase cam, but when you see that, that's when you want to start accelerating, and that's exactly what we're going to do there as we continue on out. Now, as we go down here, we're going to go towards the left-hand side, and this corner is a tricky corner to get right because there's a lot of time to be gained here. So on the bridge there, the bridge stand or concrete pillar, literally, that is your turn-in marker. Notice I'm in 5th gear. Don't be in 4th. Go to 5th. It's more stable. I'm going to lift off and turn in on this corner. I'm just going to let the car roll. Let the car roll, try to get towards the inside. When it gets to around 110 when I start accelerating. But you may have seen there I had a little bit of a wiggle mid-corner. That is going to happen quite a lot on that corner. You're just going to have to let the car roll a bit more if you are struggling. It's just the weight transfer. As we come to the hairpin then, on the right-hand side, we have a tree. It's right there in the yellow square. Now, not in the square. You can see it clearly on chase cam. That is my brake marker for the hairpin. It seems early, but it's actually perfect. We drop to second gear, and then we're going to release the brakes, and hopefully the car will rotate a little bit, like it does there. The corner is cambered as well, so you can accelerate quite easily out the corner, use all the track, and come over towards the right-hand side, and that's the end of Sector 1. What we're looking for at the start of Sector 2 is that long concrete barrier there on the right-hand side, okay. So we're just going to dab the brakes and lift off and let the car do its thing through this corner. Mainly so the weight doesn't move all over the place in this car. So just before we get to that, notice there, we're just trying to slow the car down a bit, let the car roll, and then once we've got the turn in, that's when we start accelerating. Over towards the right-hand side, do be careful of white lines here. Now, I've stopped it here. There is no markers for this one that I could really pick out and that I'm using. So just get the car straight. Once the car's straight, just start braking to slow the car down. It's absolutely fine to brake early for this next corner. I found that a lot of people are going to run deep. Some of the ghosts I followed ran deep as well. Just let the car roll through the corner. Turn in early. You should be absolutely fine. Then you're more in the middle of the circuit. The more in the middle you are, the better this next corner is going to be, and it's more critical. So on the right side there, you've got this sort of fence there. The start of it is your brake marker. Now, you're going to drop the second gear here, and a part of this corner is rolling, just letting the car roll and do its thing, because you can't accelerate straight away. Notice there, I progressively applied the throttle, so it went to 50%, car got a bit more stable, then I went to 100. If I go automatic to 100, the revs kick in, the wheels spin, the car wants to rotate, and then you're going to lose a load of time. This next corner, nice and easy brake marker there, the 100 board, and similar to turn 1, you're going to brake towards the corner. Now, I don't actually do that on this particular lap. I was trying a new line. This line is worse. It's slowed my lap down a little bit there. Notice how I was much wider and I had to really tuck the car in. Aim towards the corner, you'll be absolutely fine. So second gear through there, over towards the right side, I'm letting the car roll. Now, I dabbed the brake there. You do not have to do that. You can let the car roll a bit more, but I was aiming for the top time if I could get it, and I did get it at the time. So that's why I hit the brakes, just to carry a bit more speed and start accelerating a bit earlier. So those markers there, the sign or the wind measurer thing, I don't even know what you call it. They are your accelerating markers. You need to accelerate before you get to them. As long as you accelerate before you get to them, you'll have a really fast exit. If you accelerate after them, you're going to be a bit slower on that exit. As we get towards the end of the bridge then, on the right side, we've got a marshal there. We'll call him Brian. Brian on the right, you can use him as a brake marker. Or on the left, you got the 100 board. Or as the barrier opens up. Don't brake too late for this corner. Another corner where it's nice to brake early in this car. Allows the car to remain stable and just settle the car as you come into here. Stay in third gear a bit longer than normal, then drop to second gear, as I do right there. Just trying to keep it around 50 miles an hour. That's just to keep the revs up. All the power is at the top end of this car. as we leave the tunnel, on the right side, you've got where the tunnel ends and the cliff face begins. That's your brake mark. It's just a quick dab of the brakes for this one. Weirdly, when you dab the brakes, you're going to go up a gear in this corner. And that's the weird part. So you're slowing the car down but going up a gear. That's for stability on this part here. You're going to have to be careful. Bollards, the curb can unsettle the car a little bit as well. But third gear on exit is far better there because you won't suffer power oversteer. It's all flat out from this moment in time as we go into the tunnel and over towards the right-hand side here as we go towards that line then. And this lap is a 2-minute 12.7, I think it was. I do expect low 12s by the end of this one. Maybe someone could creep into the 11s. I couldn't see 11s personally. I could definitely see low 12s though when I was doing the laps here, and you see that there. We jumped to a pad lap then, so I jumped onto the pad. So the 300 board is your brake marker. Aim towards the corner as we go into here. Notice I've got a bit of oversteer here, and then the sand to concrete, because it's a bit tighter, is where I accelerate. I'm chasing my own ghost here as well, so you can see that in terms of where I lose time and gain time. Remember, I only use the pad once a week, and it's for this. So the concrete there on the left-hand side, we released. Notice I released a little bit later. I've understeered a bit more, and therefore it's compromised me on the left-hander. Make sure you understeer exactly where that pillar is. The tree on the right side was my brake marker for the hairpin. I come into here, a bit tighter than my ghost. Now, arguably, I actually do that better. Because the corner's cambered, that's why I can actually do that. Now, my ghost got a better exit. That's just because of my pad skills being not that good. Let's go into here. We're just letting the car do its thing, trying to slow the car down with little dabs of the brake there. And as we go through here, a little bit compromised. We're going to get the car straight and then hit the brakes. And it was half straight there as we go into this left-hander then. So on the right was the fence, and we broke at the start of that. So we continue on through here. Oh, we hit the brakes. Somebody absolutely rinsed me for using the word broke. Anyway, we're going to head towards the 100 board here on the right side. Hit the brakes. Notice how I head towards the corner. That's how I want you to do it, not how I showed you on my very fast lap, because as you can see, it did compromise me. Over towards the right side, letting the car do its thing. I dab the brakes again. You can do that if you want, or just let the car roll. Accelerate when you get to the sign there, or before it if you can. Don't accelerate after it. You're accelerating too late in that situation. So we're on the bridge. We're looking for Brian on the right-hand side. Where is he? There he is. He's got a mate there as well. We hit the brakes as we go into here. Stayed in third gear for a long time. Then dropped to second there. Allowing the car to do its thing. Trying to keep at 50 miles an hour. And then at the end of the tunnel there, we dab the brakes and turn in. Notice I've gone up to third gear again. It's very counterintuitive to do that. But trust me, it settles the car nicely as you see there. I actually found that last corner there the hardest on the pad. It was really hard to get right. I kept understeering off. I kept hitting the bollards occasionally. Very interesting one to get right on the pad. On the wheel, I had no real issues there, but the pad was definite issues. So it's one you are going to have to practice, and annoyingly, it's at the end of a lap. Now, this lap is on the leaderboards. It's made the top 10, so you can follow this ghost if you want a slower ghost, or you want a pad and you want to compete against it, and that's a 2-minute 13.5. What we're going to do now is go to chase cam then as we head towards turn 1. Remember, 300 board on the left-hand side. You can see my ABS is on weak here. So we're looking for the sand to concrete. There it is. Off we go, accelerating out of the corner in third gear. Don't be exiting in second. Third gear. Some of the top times eventually may do second because there's a bit more power there, but it's very unstable. So the pillar on the left is where we let the car do its thing. Don't touch it. And we continue on through there. Be careful of the white line on that corner. White line is track limits here, not the tarmac, as we go into this braking zone. So you do have to be careful. In fact, even on the pad, occasionally I ran really wide out of here because I was trying to maximize the speed on exit. And I actually went out too wide over that white line right there. So the concrete barrier on the right side, we're going to dab the brakes and just look to slow the car down here. You can see exactly what I'm doing there as we clip the left-hand side. Then we start accelerating as we go towards the right. Now, when we get the car straight, hit the brakes, turn in. Remember, you can brake early for this corner. It's absolutely fine to brake early as we go into the left-hander, second gear. Now, this one, you may get a little bit of a wiggle on exit. Just be careful of that one as we continue on out. Now, don't follow this line. Remember, point towards the corner. Don't do what I'm about to do here. We just go towards the right-hand side a little bit because I have to chuck it back in here because I was running wide. So aim towards the corner and you won't run wide there, and you'll actually gain some time on me as well. Through the right we go. I dab the brakes a little bit, but accelerate before that sign and the wind measurement direction funnely thingamajig on the right hand side. So we're on the bridge. We're looking for Brian on the right hand side. He's got a mate called Bill or Bob. And there they are. Hit the brakes as we go into here. Delay the downshift. Delay it as long as possible. There we go. Second gear. Now we're trying to get up to 50 miles an hour and maintain it. On the right side there, the tunnel exit into cliff face. We go up a gear, over towards left, nearly hitting the bollard. On the right, nearly hitting the bollard, but we don't do it. We continue on out of there, and then we can head towards the start-finish line. Now, you will understeer a little bit in this tunnel. I haven't really talked about this, but you can do your lap record. This was on lap 1, for example, by the start. The start is a bit compromised. You lose half a tenth, in terms of continuing the lap versus the start of a lap. But in the tunnel as well, just be careful of a bit of understeer. It can happen. So make sure you're smooth through there, because the understeer will turn into oversteer very quickly as you try to counteract it. That's a 2-minute 12.713, and that is Grand Valley Highway in that Honda S2000. And I will say this again, this is an absolutely fantastic time trial. It really is good fun. I enjoyed it this morning when I had a quick go on it, and I highly recommend you give it a go as well. Remember, this is one of the fastest ways to get credits in Gran Turismo 7. If you have enjoyed this, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content here, but that is going to be it for me. There's another time trial guide there from last week. Whether the Red Bull guide happens or not in terms of Red Bull at the Nürburgring, we will see. But make sure you check out those partners down below. And if you do click on the links, I do get a kickback, which helps out the channel. Thank you as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.